Yeah. THETRILLPILL back with another small dose. As you can see, my guy, Falcon wide receiver Calvin Ridley, says that he would step away from football indefinitely for mental well-being. And I appreciate him coming out and going ahead and saying that, because I was wondering, because my brother was on my fantasy football team, and I was like, man, what's going on, man? You know what I'm saying? What's going on, man? You know, my fantasy football brother. You know what I'm saying? What is going on, my brother? You are on my fantasy football team. But now that I know I can make moves accordingly. But more importantly, fuck fantasy football. We're living in reality. My man says, you know, for his mental well being, you know, and I respect that. I respect that. So let's go in and see. He said that these past few weeks have been very challenging, and as much as I like to be on the field competing with my teammates, I need to step away from football at this time to focus on my mental well-being. This will help me be the best version of myself now and in the future. I want to thank my teammates, the entire Atlanta Falcons organization, our great fans, my family, my friends, for all their support during this time. Calvin Ridley. Ridley's name was a surprise addition to the Falcons game day inactives. He missed Sunday's game against Carolina Panthers with what was called a personal matter. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it ain't nobody else's business. You know what I'm saying? Now, Calvin really previously chose not to explain his absence last time around, calling it a personal matter. So he was getting tired of him asking the question like, "Hey, why are you not?" You know how the reporters be when they ask them the questions in the press conference. And what? Excuse me, sir. Why is there something going on within the organization? You know, they try to be messy. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get to like the Shannons and the Skips and the Stevens and everybody else who got an opinion about what the athletes are doing. I meant to say, you know what? It's a personal matter. Mind your business. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this for my well-being, for my mentals. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that. Big salute to Calvin Ridley. All right. He also added last week, for me personally, it shouldn't matter because mind your business. But in today's world, yeah, I do understand he understands why people are curious. You know what I'm saying? He understands why people are curious. To me, I don't think it should. It's personal. If I say it's personal, it's personal. Now, following Atlanta's bye week in week 6, Calvin Ridley returned to the lineup last week in the win over the Miami Dolphins, catching 4 passes on 10 targets for 26 yards and a touchdown. In 5 starts this season, Ridley had 31 catches for 281 yards, 2 touchdowns. And his 9.1 yard receiving average, would be a career low. So he said, you know what, man, I'm not really feeling it like that. Something's going on. And I got to figure out what's going on. All right. I got to figure out what's going on with me. All right. And also, on top of that, it's also great to see that he has support. All right. From a fellow wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Michael Thomas. You know what I'm saying? He had a cool little message for him. Earlier this afternoon, Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Calvin Ridley announced that he'll be taking time away from the game and focus on his mental health. Among many people showing Ridley's support today is New Orleans Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas. Talking to Twitter, taking to Twitter, Mike Thomas reached out to Ridley, offered his support to the Falcons wide receiver. Despite being division rivals, Michael Thomas has the highest of praise for Ridley and his missions. I'm standing in that hole with you, Calvin Ridley. Keep going. You one of them ones for shit show. He said shit show, for sure. All right. Thomas's tweet was going viral. People liking it and sharing his message. You know what I'm saying? Of course, as they should. You know what I'm saying? Here's the message right here. I'm standing in that hole with you, Calvin Ridley one. Keep going. You one of them ones for shit show. I mean, I keep saying shit show, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know you can hit him upset, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we miss you on the field, but mental health should always come first. The real fans will understand. One fan replied, "You a real one you're a real one for this, Mike." Wrote another fan. I always knew Thomas was a great dude. Overhated for sure. Another fan wrote. Calvin Ridley and Michael Thomas are 2 of the best receivers in the NFL. While they may be the enemies on Sundays, when it comes to mental health, they are arm in arm. Shout out to MT for speaking up on his boy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, big shout out. You know what I'm saying? Um, I made a video about Simone Biles, and I also got videos with other athletes. Also have some reactions to one of my favorite podcasts. I Am Athlete with Brandon Marshall, Chad Johnson, um, Fred Taylor, Shannon Crowder, Jared Aldridge, and whoever else they add on there. But it's a great podcast. Because I think with me being a former athlete, sometimes if your mind ain't right, you just won't perform right, right? And I can even get to a little story time with that, right? Now I was in high school. You know, my mother was going through, cancer, breast cancer. And she had to get a mastectomy. And I wasn't playing right. I wasn't practicing right. My mind was all screwed up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even front man, I was screwed in the head because I'm like, you know what, man? I contemplated quitting. I contemplated just leaving school altogether and dropping out of high school and just so I can be there for my mother. My mother wouldn't let me do that. She would have seizures every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? And it used to scare the shit out of me. And my biggest fear was coming home and seeing my mother, you know what I'm saying, passed away. And I felt like it was selfish for me to be at school or me to be that close and not, you know what I'm saying, type of shit. But I just wasn't right in the mind. You know what I'm saying? I just wasn't right in my mind. And I was playing piss poor, you know what I'm saying? And I definitely wasn't playing up to my potential at that time for like a game or two. I mean, I had a decent game. Don't get me wrong. You know, so I had a decent game, but it was one game I just had to check out. Wasn't feeling it. Wasn't motivated. You know, so um, my mind wasn't right because I didn't hear that voice in the crowd. You know, my mother was one of the mamas where you hear a voice in the crowd, you already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? You know what time it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? She gonna tell you about herself, and she ain't coming to like. Rest in peace, my mama, man. You know, she wanted just the trillest ever. Because if you wasn't doing nothing, man, look. If you wasn't starting, you wasn't playing, she ain't coming to them games. You gotta be up there doing something. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, that's the type of mother she was. She was a motivator. If she seen me mess up on the play, I played defensive tackle, but in high school. But if she see me get pancaked or something, she be like, "Hey," you know what I'm saying? Hey, so let me get to the sideline. Shit, you gonna let him do that to you? Shit, he just threw you to the ground like you ain't working. You know what I'm saying? That's how she was. You know what I'm saying? She loved football. And so they kept me motivated, but at that time she couldn't come to those games. You know what I'm saying? She was so much in pain. But I had to talk with her, and she was like, "You need to play, always play. I need to always play and always live like I'm right there beside her." And that stuck with me still to this day because she's gone now. She passed away 9 years ago to lung cancer. God rest her soul. But that stuck with me to this day. So whatever personal reasons Calvin Ridley or any other athlete or any other person, but she was talking about athletes, specifically athletes, because these professional athletes, they ask all these stupid ass questions every goddamn day. Every day they have somebody picking apart their lives, picking apart their plays, everything. Every aspect of their life is picked apart. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can see how much money they make. Like how much money they make it's even on Madden. You know what I'm saying? You can see their contracts and shit like that, and how much money they make, and pocket watching and all type of shit is going on with these athletes. And so if they need to take a break on the sport, it shouldn't be no problem to. It doesn't matter about wins and losses. It should matter about these guys, and you know, because you don't want them, you know, to end up like an Aaron Hernandez or a Junior Seau, all right, or a Javon Belcher. You know, those are athletes who took their lives. You know, ball players. You know, you don't want them to end up like that because you worried about some wins and losses. So shout out to Calvin Ridley. Shout out to the Falcons. Shout out to the NFL. And we're going to, you know, keep him in our prayers as well as everybody else, man. It's a good brother right here, man. Shout out to Michael Thomas for speaking up. You know what I'm saying? It feels good to see another man say, man, I'm right there with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's all this is about. You know what I'm saying? Say, brother, I'm right there with you, man. I stand right there with you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't by yourself. You are not alone. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shit, man, it's okay not to be okay, man. You ain't got to be trying to put no front for these people. These people ain't nothing in the front for. If you ain't feeling good, you ain't feeling good, man. You know what I'm saying? Folks trying to be real with everybody else. If you can't be real with you can't be real with everybody else if you're not real with yourself. You can't love nobody else if you don't love yourself first. It don't work like that. You know? So that being said, man, you know what it is with me, man. Trill pill, small dose, dropping in here and there and here, with this and that. You know what I'm saying? It's a trill pill, man. Much love. God bless. Two things, man. Stay trilling heal and monumental to be monumental. All right? Love. I'm out.